Would that make sense, or is that?
It's totally different.
Oh, so raise our cap from 5,000.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we should raise the cap to something, right? So you're not signing.
But the pay recs are going to be like,
Yeah, the pay recs are.
they're going to be like 300,000.
Right.
Yeah, so
the pay recs are always going to be over that amount.
Yeah.
So.
The lowest one you're probably going to see is the first one, which is for their bond costs. Once they start work, they'll all be over, they'll be six figures.
I mean, they have a budget that they told us they were going to work within. We have a budget that we're constrained to. I don't really see the invoice approvals as being that, especially if they're approved through 3 levels anyway before they get to us. I don't see them being controversial.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Like below 500,000, Justin can sign off.
The quantities and the prices are all there already, and if it's not, it's a change order, which we're going to set a limit for anyways. So if it's all part of the project, it's a cost that we knew about, and they're just billing for it, I don't see why we have to.
I think our process
have a limit
works.
on it.
I think the way we're doing
It's
it
been
now is
working
fine.
well.
It's two signatures at least, so not one of us is hanging out there.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's once a month.
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
All right, we'll
You
just
guys
do the
see
same
something?
process I'm doing.
You guys see something that
Okay.
raises your eyebrows,
then we bring it to the
bring
committee.
it to the committee.
Right.
So I just also want to mention, Steve, if you don't mind, that every pay requisition, you're actually only paying 95% of what the requisition, because the contractor, for whatever reason, told us that something would be done, and then the next month it's not. We can also adjust the next month's payment application. So at any point in the beginning or even midway through the construction where, somehow you've overpaid, right? Typically, what we want to do is just make sure that it's in line with the progress of the work. And so that's kind of one of the things that we do in terms of what Steve said, where we walk around once a week. It's not only to walk around, make sure the quality of the work is where it needs to be, and just observe. I mean, because the reality is, we're observing the construction, but we're also observing like what's been installed. And so when the pay requisitions come in, that week before the pay requisitions are final, most times, Steve's team and our team would be walking around the building basically with their pencil requisition, their draft requisition, reviewing everything that's been installed to make sure that what they're asking for is appropriate. But what we don't do is we don't say, okay, how many sheets of drywall do you have? How many of this and how many of that? It's a general sense of, yeah, they're 10% done, 20% done, 30% done.
Ron, are you guys doing field reports?
Yes.
And to add to that, there's a certain point in time in every project where you sort of flip what you're looking at. You start off looking at what's done, and then as you get deeper into the job, you start looking at what's left to do, and then making sure that their balance to complete is accurate enough. So it's sort of a couple different ways, at least that I look at it, as you go along. Oh, okay. Then just continuing on, if there's an architect report, then we can have Ron present what he may have. And then, I was saying, action items was approval of PCO. Oh, okay. Then just continuing on, we can have Ron present what he may have. And then, I was saying, action items was approval of PCOs, change orders, approval of invoices, approval of amendments, approval of minutes. So we've sort of answered a bunch of those, what we are and are not doing. And end of the building committee meeting is our usual stuff, the other topics, and then adjournment.